Hey, True Believers England teen here. It is Friday night, another comic book origins. This time, because we are celebrating American Pride Month, we're going right to the beginning. This is the very first patriotic superhero, the Shield. A lot of people think it's Captain America. It's not. Sorry to burst that little bubble, but it is the Shield from the same company that brought us Archie, of all people. So that's kind of cool. All right, with me here as the narrator, we have Eric Back Issue Breen.
Greetings.
All righty, I myself am going to play half of the supporting characters. The other half is going to be played by the real Dr. Venkman, except no substitutes.
How's it going, kids?
And playing our villain tonight will be, of course, the British guy. We have the Batman.
Greetings, you dullards!
And our hero, the Shield, shall be played by none other than my felt counterpart, Puppetine.
Hi!
Alrighty. I love the energy. We're getting right there, man. It's good. It should be fun. If you haven't seen one of these, basically you are about to see the worst reading in the world, except for Puppetine. He seems to actually be a decent actor. So beyond that, we welcome you, and at the same time apologize for what you're about to see. So I say, let me get this lined up now. Eric, what do you know about the Shield? I mean, you are our true back issues guy.
I haven't really read a lot of the older versions. I've read some of the newer ones from the 60s and a little bit of the Impact stuff, but this is going to be pretty new for me too. All
righty. Yeah, I was telling you yesterday, I don't think I've ever read this story. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Let's see. Right here. And I think as I was getting everything ready, we had somebody pop on to help us out here, but we already gave out the parts. But hello to MK. What's up? All righty. So,
so good. I just really wanted to join to see what's going on.
All righty. Well, feel free to comment when we start. But we're gonna get ready here. Let me make sure I'm on guided view. So let's start off. And as a matter of fact, since you did jump on, and we don't have we already gave out the parts. MK, what do you think about this? This is Golden Age covers.
Oh, the cover.
What do you think about the cover? What do you think about the suit, the guy, the whole 9 yards?
Yeah, it looks retro, pretty old school, you know. Simple, I guess you could say. You know, the book. Let's see here. Yeah, those dudes remind me of the guy, the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, kind of.
Kinda, yeah. They're just as empty when you look
a little
at
bit,
the broken one.
We were talking about how off the costume looks. I mean, he's literally wearing a shield.
I've noticed
and
something else
it is pointing directly to his crotch. So it's kind of a weird looking outfit.
It kind of reminds me of an umpire,
wearing the shield.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. It's like a patriotic umpire.
I've noticed something else as well. It's I think it's because of the age of the cover. The red has degraded into purple, and the blue faded.
A little bit. This does come from the omnibus. I am reading this. That's why it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of show tonight. But we are reading this from the omnibus, not the actual issue, because that would cost $1 or $2. And so I had to go this route. All right, let's get started. Let's see how this thing goes. I'll read off this first narration. Joe Higgins, G-Man extraordinaire, is the Shield. Only one living man knows the Shield's true identity, and that man is the chief of the FBI, because Joe's father was killed in the famous Black Tom explosion set off by foreign spies during the World War. He, from that time forward, swore to devote his life to shielding the U.S. government and its people from any harm, and succeeded in securing an appointment as G-Man. To carry out his avowed purpose because of his uniform, he is called the Shield. This uniform of his own secret construction not only is bulletproof and flameproof, but gives him power to perform extraordinary feats of physical daring and courage. Wearing his shield, he has the speed of a bullet and the strength of Hercules. With these powerful forces, he shields the U.S. government from all enemies. The 4 white stars on the field of blue signify to what he has devoted his life: truth, justice, patriotism, and courage. Dun, dun, dun! The shield. G-Man Extraordinary. I never knew it was G-Man Extraordinary.
He looks like a flying squirrel.
Looks kind of fast.
Me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
All righty. Let's go.
In the chief's office, headquarters of the FBI.
Higgins, I've got a special assignment for you.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best.
Whoops, sorry. There's a Stokian spy ring operating here, and we must smash it. They're causing a reign of terror. The public is clamoring for action.
They have blown up Arsenal number 43.
Stokians, they'll be fake Russians, I take it.
They attack America's very fortifications and get away with it. Our merchant marine has suffered blows from this vicious spy ring.
Higgins, they must be stopped. Start at once.
I will, sir.
As Higgins leaves the FBI building, 2 sinister figures slink out of a dark alley. The 2 men prove to be Stokian spies.
I know this isn't me, but what the hell?
The
I
red
don't
guy.
know who he is, but he was in the FBI office.
I think that's me. He must be spying on our gang. Let's get him.
They attack their prey on a side street.
That's still you, Vang.
You dirty copper. I'll knock your head off.
Rude.
But with the speed of a fox, Higgins ducks the blow, and it smacks the other attacker, knocking him cold.
Russian for ouch.
Higgins tackles the second Stokian and throws him.
Now it's my turn.
The spy strikes his head as he falls.
Ah,
Okay, comment. Is that supposed to be blood underneath him? Did he
I
hit his
don't
head
think
and
so.
it just burst open?
I don't think so.
Alrighty.
Higgins searches the stunned spy.
He's a Stokian agent. All right. Here's a note from his chief.
We meet on top floor of Hotel Braganza. All the building is in the hands of our friend Klotz.
P.S. Pick up my laundry. The G-Man arrives at the Hotel Braganza and asks for a room.
Sorry, sir, we haven't any rooms available.
Oh, come on.
Deciding to go up and look around, Higgins is stopped by the boy.
sorry, sir. I can't take you up unless you state your business.
Wow, he looks creepy.
Not knowing Higgins' identity, the house detective asks Joe to leave.
You can't loaf here, buddy.
Oh.
Oh, shucks.
Not wishing to arouse suspicion, Joe leaves the hotel.
Sorry,
I
that
can't-
was me.
Whoop, back.
I can't cause a fuss in the lobby without being sure of my facts.
In a corner of the alley, Joe Higgins opens his briefcase and...
And so, the shield will go into action on another front.
A moment later, in his startling uniform, Higgins becomes the dreaded Shield.
Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man.
Like a human fly, the Shield scales the walls of the hotel.
There's always a way in for the shield. Here I am on the roof, but now, how do I get in?
From a secret pocket in his uniform, he produces and sets up a radio sound detector.
Now to find out if I can hear anything.
The Shield hears a conversation going on below in a steel-walled room in the hotel.
But what if the Shield...
The Shield cannot touch us. Sorry. The Shield cannot touch us. This place is bomb-proof, bulletproof, and soundproof.
But the Shield's electric ear brings the Master Spy's voice to him.
Well, not quite soundproof. Maybe I can touch them.
Ooh.
Inappropriately. The Shield mixes a potent brew.
If the hideout is bomb-proof, maybe this chemical will be better.
He's gonna poison them?
He's gonna roofie them.
The powerful secret formula cuts its way through the armor plating. In the hideout, just as the Master Spy boasts of success to come.
Now for our big adventure, to assassinate the army chiefs.
Look out! It's the Shield!
He's torn open the roof!
Shoot him down!
I'll wipe him out.
Boink, boink, boink.
Ptang, ptang. But the bullets flatten harmlessly on the Shield's uniform.
Don't let him get away!
Don't worry, I'm not leaving yet.
The desperate men are like playthings in the hands of the Shield.
Oh.
Ooh.
Stand back!
I want to see the papers in that cabinet.
The chief spy crashes the sword down on the Shield's head, but the blade crumples.
Won't anything stop you?
Nope, nothing.
Just bad writing.
The Shield pushes the chief spy to one side and goes through the files.
These documents look interesting.
My laundry bills!
Ignored by the Shield, the spy slinks away.
Ah, and here's the master plan of the whole spy plot. This clears up everything.
And stacks up high explosives.
I'm not good at my job.
In a few moments, this time bomb will blot out the evidence and the Shield.
And the master spy escapes through a secret panel. Meanwhile, as the Shield uncovers more evidence.
What an idiot.
This places the blame directly on the spies. Our country won't have to go to war.
A terrific explosion rocks the Hotel Braganza.
How did that happen? I have no idea.
Oops.
Passersby are horrified, all but one.
That settles the Shield.
Meanwhile, in Gotham, the master spy, unnoticed, slinks away from the scene of the crime.
Now to set up a new organization and start to work again.
I'll call it Intergang.
The Shield's uniform has saved him from instant death, but he is hurled far up into the air.
This will be terrible. This will be a terrible fall, even for me. Ah, a flagpole. It'll break my fall.
On my neck.
He catches the pole. Don't do it. Which bends under the impact.
Dude, it would snap to pour it off. And it does.
Well, here we go.
The flagpole breaks. Down through an awning crashes the Shield.
With that stupid smile still on his face.
Excuse me, I have a question. Why is there an awning above a giant tree?
I was just thinking that, right? It's an awning, and then he's like straight into the trees. Okay. Here we go. Just read it. We'll talk about this after.
The shield's descent is checked by the flagpole, and the awning's still down. He hurtles. As I can't read that, I didn't memorize it.
And as he nears the earth, he grabs the branches of a tree.
There we go.
Which was hardly passing by.
Safe and sound with the evidence.
The shield lands on his hands, but you already knew that. But immediately somersaults backwards, landing unharmed on his feet. At that moment, the master spy comes into view.
Halt, spy!
You will not get me, not yet.
But the spy dashes into his car and...
Can I tomorrow?
Catch me if you can.
He speeds away. With giant strides, the shield, mightiest of G-men, pursues the fleeing master spy. The spy dashes across a drawbridge just as it begins to open.
That was a close one, but the opening bridge will stop the shield.
But the shield makes a superhuman leap and crosses the open span.
Moink.
Feeling secure now, the master spy slows down his speeding car.
Now I can slow down and catch my breath. Bleh.
The shield zooms into view.
The shield! Again!
And somersaults to his feet directly in front of the car.
Halt! Surrender!
Out of my way, or I'll smash you. I must break you.
The car crashes into the shield at full speed.
Oh my gosh, he lost his windshield. There's no windshield.
Are we going to be talking about the fact that it really does look like he stopped this car with his crotch? Am I the...
Look at that. He's flexing his butt muscles.
I know, right? It's like he's thrusting.
He's just raped that car.
The car crashes into the shield at full speed, but his uniform, featuring one hell of a codpiece, protects him from harm.
Yeah, his uniform.
Yeah, the shield and the sword.
I'll confess the spy plot. I'll confess the spy plot. Only saved my life. Spare my life, even. I don't know anymore.
No, the spy stuff has had enough publicity. Confess that you blew up the hotel.
Awed by the shield's amazing feat, the master spy begs for mercy. Not wishing to reveal his identity and not wishing to speak in the soprano voice that he must have at this moment, the shield places his card on the spy's hand and silently disappears.
I surrender, officer. I blew up the Hotel Braganza.
Then you'll go to prison for life. But what's that in your hand? And we see the badge of the shield saying truth, justice, patriotism, and
cabbage.
Courage. Wasn't it where the policemen were painting their nails in World War II?
I know, right?
Yeah. Was it the cops or is that the...
As Plain Joe Higgins, the shield reports to his chief.
You did a great job, Higgins.
Thanks, Chief. What's my next assignment?
Well, this is block up toilet.
The shield, always ready to protect America, receives another dangerous assignment from his chief in the next issue of Pep Comics, where he has 20 more issues uninterrupted before he will be usurped by a certain redhead scallywag.
Sorry, Shield, replacing you with a black person.
Hey, but
no more
ginger.
Actually,
Shield
no,
is replaced by a ginger.
Yeah,
female black person.
He gets replaced by another ginger person. Because the Pep Comics is where the first appearance of Archie happened.
Ah.
Yes. So there we go, gang. That is the very first appearance of the very first patriotic superhero, the Shield. I see we had some others join us while we were reading. Hello to Zombo saying, look out, Higgins. And Robert Roberts, that Shield really accentuates his American junk. Those lines did lead to his crotch.
That's America's crotch.
Hey,
and it's
hard. Jim, what's up? No ad. Did you remember to monetize? Yes, I did. And there we go. Notice the whole goal of the G-Man was avoiding war. Okay, let's talk about this. You sat quietly for it,
Yeah,
so
well,
as soon as you turn on your mic there, MK, you can tell us what you thought. But Puppetine, you played the Shield. You go first. What do you think? What did you think about this book?
I mean, do I have to pick up the next issue? It's no offense to the character. It's just, I don't know. It's not that good. It's really not.
All righty. How about you, Batman, as the villain? You, of course, you're British. We can't cast you as anything but the villain.
Curses.
What's your 2 cents on this?
It was better than an episode of Batwoman or Supergirl.
So is watching a toilet flush, but
it was early days. It said in the intro that either he or his father was in the war. So was that the First World War or the Second?
It would have to be at this point, right? Because this was 1940, wasn't it? It would be around 1940, right?
Yeah, it said the World War.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about his father, and that was World War I, but
right.
We weren't in World War II yet when this story was printed. So they were still fighting, I'm guessing, Buns and saboteurs.
Right.
Yeah. A year later, it's 41 is when we got.
Yeah, and that's when we got Captain America. Eric, how about you? What'd you think?
Okay. Was it great? No. But
no, it wasn't.
Okay, last week what we read was that great? No. But we also, what we read that knowing that there was 80 years of Captain America stories that follow where he was fleshed out and developed into a tremendous character, last 10 years notwithstanding. We don't have that luxury with the Shield because we didn't read any of the ones that came after that. Yeah, there was the ones in the 60s and then the subsequent reboots, but I think not having anything to really base it on, this story had to stand on its own. And if you read any Golden Age story, especially this early into the Golden Age, with the exception of maybe some early Batmans, I think you're going to find most of them wanting.
Well, here's my counterpoint. The character, the bad guy, was literally called Spy. This was very low effort. Yeah, we do have the Captain America story, and in the Captain America story, for as cheesy as it is, look, when you're reading Golden Age, and you know I say this, I say Golden Age, Silver Age cheese, you expect a certain amount of cheesiness because of the time it was made in. So I'm not so bothered by that kind of thing. It was the stuff like, as you pointed out, he flies through an awning, which is usually over a building, but in this case, it's over a forest.
Sometimes I've seen like photographs in New York. They have awnings like on really high windows.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong about this, and the awning goes, and he's like flying into Central Park or something. I don't know. But there were little bits and pieces there. Ash is pointing out something good. Maybe I should think about this. He was so good of a spy that nobody knew his real name, so he just had to be called.
Yeah, that was it.
Now here's a counterpoint. Maybe Simon and Kirby looked at this as a template and then knew what not to do with theirs.
So by reading this, yeah.
Actually, Eric's probably right because you see that a lot in fiction. I mean, you ever read Robert E. Howard? You've read Conan, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever read any of his King Cole stories?
I have not.
Very obviously a prototype Conan.
Okay.
But without the polish, if you know what I mean.
And that might have just been it. I mean, look, the Shield lasted. It wasn't. He wasn't like absolutely kicked out.
It's
Archie did become the more famous character, yes, but the Shield wasn't completely written out of history.
Archie actually go to a fancy dress party dressed as the Shield once.
Did he?
I'm not sure.
I know the Archies had their own superhero identities for a little bit.
Yeah. Now I said it. I mean, these were. I'm sure these stories were good, not great, and by I think issues 60 something or 70 something, they just kind of abandoned the superhero thing and turned everything over to the Archie gang. If they'd been better, there probably would have been room for both.
Yeah, yeah. Overall, look, I have fun doing these. I'm glad we grabbed onto the Shield. This is the first time I've ever read this story. I've never read this story before. I'm assuming that Puppetine, you've never read this. Neither has Venkman. Eric, you said you haven't read it in a long time.
No, this was first for me too.
So this was it.
Yeah,
I appreciate us doing these stories just based on the fact that we've never read them before. It just tends to be a heck of a lot of fun.
I don't know how or if they've been reprinted. I'm sure they probably have at some point, but I don't know if there's any reprints available like in print at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't mind reading more of them just from a historical perspective, but you know,
yeah. Well, I could tell you that yes, there is an omnibus. I've got it on Comixology here, and
right. Can you see what I'm sharing? The Archie and Friends cover.
You are sharing the live chat, sir.
I never did this. I know get this thing right.
Make sure you don't have any other tabs open, sir.
Yeah, I do.
Oh no.
Yeah, it is kind of kooky. Let's see. Red Sonja is better than Colleen. Conan says backyard moments / RDV.
No.
I'm shocked.
I agree with him. I agree with him. I think Red Sonja is actually better than Colin Conan. I like Red Sonja better too. So I'm backing you up on that one. Okay, Archie and Friends.
Yeah, see, Archie dressed as a shield.
Oh, there we go. Awesome.
He was next to the shield.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, I still enjoyed this. I had a good time. I had a good time checking out a new comic book, a new golden age. Let's see, British Batman isn't as computer savvy as his American counterpart.
Not when it comes to fight. Not when it comes to StreamYards. No.
And I thought it was actually a pretty decent book for being the first. I mean, the only thing you could tell, I don't know if they were trying to say that it was his first time being the Shield, if he was a rookie or still what, but a huge thing is like, I'll just look at these papers for 15 to 20 minutes, not even look at the villain, and the villain just leaves. You know, it's like, what? And then, yeah.
I would imagine a lot of first appearances looked very similar to this in those days.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the first appearance of Superman? It's very similar.
Yeah, we will get to that.
Is that where he catches a car?
Well, he's throwing the car, or at least smashing the car. But yes.
He was trying to crack a walnut with a car.
But I bet there's a lot of spy smashing.
Yeah, but I mean, this book should have had an editor before they released it, though, because look, when he smashed the car, the windshield went green. Looked like a tank then.
Yeah, that was a really silly panel. It really did look like he was crashing the car with his crotch.
Well, is that where they got the idea for Flex Mattel?
Maybe so. Maybe so. Okay, so here's the thing.
What's the thing?
We have to talk about
monster.
We have to talk about two things. Now, we usually we talk about what are we going to be doing next week? What are we going to be doing this week? So forth. We're going to switch things around a little bit because normally every Thursday we do Throwback Thursday. And every Friday we do a comic book origins where we talk about the very first appearance of a superhero or a villain or a team or a weapon even. I don't care. A place. Anything you guys can imagine, we talk about it. But we are doing American Pride Month. I want to do patriotic superheroes. And we haven't done a team yet. So we're going to switch things around. And next Thursday, we're going to do the very first appearance. It's a comic book origins, not a Throwback Thursday, of the Freedom Fighters.
I've got one for you, seeing as you're doing American Pride.
Dude, at least go, woo! That sounds cool. and then tell me what you would have wanted to do beforehand.
That sounds cool.
Now let me finish. And then on Friday, we're going to do part 2 of the first appearance of the Freedom Fighters. So we're going to switch it around. We're going to make a 2-night thing on, because it's a 2-issue story. Starts in Justice League 107, moves over to Justice League 108. So by all means, guys, join us for that. And Batman, what is your suggestion?
American Pride Month. I mean, what's more American than the Westerns? And Marvel and DC put out a hell of a lot of Western heroes.
Well, normally I was thinking about patriotism, but
kind of very patriotic, really, when you think about it.
That's a way to look at things. No. Now, see, Ash in the chat. Ash is in the good spirit of this, man.
No, Ash just fell asleep on his zero key, on his O key.
I think it's awesome, man. Ash knows what he's talking about here. Look at this. Look at this right here. Woo! See, now that's the way to go about it, sir. That is the way to go about it.
Yeah, what's probably happened is Ash has actually stepped into a pool of icy cold water.
Okay, so Eric's reached into his magic bag and pulled out the very first appearance of the Freedom Fighters. So there you go. There is a second issue to that where they actually talk about this is how World War III will be fought. So I'm thinking, so I guess, Eric, you approve of the choice.
Why, yes.
I would actually like to read that issue, Eric, because I really like the alternate universe stuff in comics.
All right. And so, well, next week we are going to read it.
Yes.
So you will actually.
Oh, great. Can I be Superman?
I would say we should probably do, what was that team that Shining Knight was part of?
Seven Soldiers of Victory.
Yes.
And also the Justice Society of America.
Well, either one of those is patriotic.
Have you ever seen that clip from one of the GSA comics where Stargirl's got to go to the dentist to have a brace removed, and the GSA decided to tag along, and they're all in the dentist's surgery with her, like piled around the chair.
I was thinking after that, maybe Eric will know what I'm talking about, that we go and read a little bit of Boy Commandos #1. Do you know who would be the first appearance of that, Eric?
Newsboy Legion?
Close.
The Teen Brigade?
Very close.
Guardian?
Closer.
I agree with Ash. Why are we doing first appearance on a throwback?
I don't know. I fold.
Liberty Bell.
Next week. What he's saying is next week.
Do you still have that?
2-part introduction for the team. So instead of doing a throwback Thursday, it's going to be pretty much a first appearance.
And so we're switching the 2 days. Yes.
I just
got it.
I just did a quick Google, and the Teen Brigade were very far away because they're Marvel.
And by the way, no, I sold that Boy Commando issue a long time ago. It was to Darkness Comes. Yeah. So there you go, gang. Please join us next week on Throwback Thursday and First Appearance Friday, or Comic Book Origins, for the first appearance of Freedom Fighters. It'll be a 2-night event starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or EST, England Teen Standard Time, because I'm always a little bit late. And
You are.
I don't mean to be. Yes, I do. Let's see. Tomorrow, of course, we've got our auction. Sunday, we're going to reveal the winners of the Gabby Awards, if that's what you want to call them. And then we're going to, on Monday, talk about nominees for the Spirit Awards, the best comics of 2021, to which Eric will be going, oh.
I was thinking, somebody should reach out to Comics Division, see if we can get him out of retirement to do the show with us.
He just needs manga nowadays, I think.
Yeah, I will try that.
I think we should just get people who actually are reading the comics right now.
Wegman, then I would have Sunday night off.
Yeah.
As well.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
I see where you're going with that.
Wait,
Up
what?
here, backyard moments.
What? All righty. Well, once again, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you to Puppetine for playing the Shield.
It was an honor.
Thank you for the Batman for playing the villain, the Spy.
I will get you next time, Shield.
My fellow day player, RDV, the real Dr. Venkman, except no substitutes.
You're welcome.
And the narrator, all the way over there, is Eric Back Issues Breen.
It was a dark and stormy night.
And thank you very, very much for all the commentary from MKF30. All righty, with that, we say thank you very much as always. And
I didn't want to interrupt you guys, huh?
There you go. And thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night, gang.
Good night, kids.
Bye.